Yeah, Yoshi was fantastic. We needed every bit of it. Certainly, we pushed him more than we have all year, and he earned that opportunity. I thought tonight he was just getting ahead of hitters all night long. The split, the curveball really came into play today. And that's a very tough lineup to navigate, and he just competed his tail off and going 7 innings, set us up certainly to win a ball game. And I thought early we swung the bats well, didn't get anything to show for it, but it certainly turned in that 9th inning. But to come away with the win was huge.
You don't have to talk about just the fight that this team shows, but to see how this one played out, to see them battle to the very end, did you see something different in regard to just feeling like a must-win for this group?
I don't know if it was a must-win, but certainly given Yoshi's outing, I think that you could almost you don't want to waste that great of an outing. And so it was just good to see after going down 2 runs in that 9th inning to come back and, Tommy putting together a really nice at bat, getting a hit on an off day and coming in there late into the game, playing a role. And, just kind of obviously passing the baton. There's some free passes in there. But all night I thought we had some really good at-bats. I thought Teo took a really good at-bat. I thought Will took some really good at-bats. And then ultimately Max to, driving the winning run was big for all of us.
How tough is that kind of inning to put together? Like you said, like when you're in danger of wasting on a start, when you have lost a couple games in a row coming into this, how tough is it to kind of summon that kind of inning to put together?
It's tough, and obviously, we had Shohei steal second base there and taking a chance that they might take the bat out of Freddie's hands, but in that situation, we really don't have any pitching left, and so we got to play for the win there. And I think for us right there, a tie ball game, I don't think would have ended well for us, and so to kind of keep the line moving, to get that winning run on second base was really pivotal for us tonight.
You used the word ace before the game about Yoshinobu, and you don't use that lightly. How is it defined, not just in this game, but also throughout the whole season?
I do kind of pick, I use that word very carefully and cautiously because there's a lot of that comes with that. And certainly track record, I think there's just the ability to go deep in games when you need it, to handle left and right, to be a top end guy. There's very few in the big leagues. And so I just see a confident player, and even that Pavin Smith at bat where he got over 100 pitches right there, he wanted that last hitter. And so I like looking at guys and trusting the guy that's on the mound.
Is that leaving him in there, with like Vezia warming, is that a sign of kind of the trust you have in him to kind of handle it?
Yeah, I just felt right there in that moment, he was our best option. And it's not about pitch count, it's not about third time through, it's about he's our best option. And I felt, where our club is at right now, we need to give him the best chance to get out of that inning. And, he proved all of us right.
Dave, you kind of sensed something good could be coming from him when you talked before the game. How much of that is just knowing his stuff, and how much of that is what you saw of him over the last week?
I think honestly what I've learned from him over the last year, and a half, almost a year and a half, I just see a guy that works, very intentional. He's really confident in his ability. I think that the success that he's had has given him more conviction to execute pitches, to get ahead. I think that there was a little bit the last couple starts before this one, mechanically out of sync, just missing, where I think tonight Mark and the hitting pitching guys cleaned some stuff up, and he was dialed in today from the first pitch. So wasn't stressed at all, stayed in his throw. I thought everything was consistent all night, and so that takes time to build that trust.
Was it just missed locations from Tanner on those 2 home runs?
I think on the Carroll, I think it was slider, or I don't know, I think it was 2-1, and then he just went with the heater, and the ball, I think it was 98, but it was just a belt line fastball that you know, Corbin has got a lot of juice, for not a physical guy, and, just put a good swing on it. Yeah, and the other one, I just think it was just mislocation.
You talked about Ben in high leverage situations and when we've seen those different ones, but for him to close out that game, how big was that for him and for you?
It was big, it was big, and I just felt that it was the right spot for him. And we're obviously put him in a lot of high leverage spots, and he's answered every opportunity the right way, and the role for him is sort of ever evolving. But given kind of where we're at in the pen and losing guys, his role needed to change, and he's now just a high leverage guy. And you know, I said hybrid a week ago, something like that. So he can still do multiples, but I didn't hesitate going in that spot.
You said before the game, like losing late hurts the most. Winning late like this, like how much of a swing can that be? Just kind of getting in the way the last couple weeks has gone.
It's a big swing. You know, you sit there in the ninth inning, or you're down 2 runs, and your bullpen is completely taxed, and you've got to go to bed. And I give Anthony a lot of credit. 2 innings 2 days ago, and to take the baseball was huge. I was trying to kind of spell Tanner with some extra throws, and you just can't lose on nights that Yamamoto throws. Those ones really sting, and so yeah, to get a win tonight, I'm gonna sleep a lot better tonight.
Hey, what were your pitching options if that game stayed tied? How did it work?
If it stayed tied, I was probably gonna run Anthony out there again to do an up down and kind of see where we're at, you know, with a bunch of right-hand hitters coming up. And so for me, it was like, we just gotta do whatever we can to, number one, not push him too much more than he's already been pushed, but also I just felt that was the best chance for us our best chance to win tonight, I thought was in that inning.
A couple weeks ago in Arizona, that 6-run ninth, it all happened so fast. Was this a similar feeling almost to those late innings?
This was more dire, because we just didn't have much behind. So this was one of those that we've already paid a tax in the last week. So we just put some at-bats together, man, and it was much needed tonight. Thanks, guys.